Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy, and at the request of Patreon subscriber Gorehound, this is Bird Stompy. I actually played against Gorehound at the Spotlight Series in Toronto, the Legacy event on Sunday. He actually came up to me, had me sign a playset of Saz Chocobo, and I was like, that's cool, I've never signed one of these before. And then we paired into each other in round 3, and I was like, oh shit, this is going to be wild, whatever is about to happen. Then after the event, reached out to me, and we had a session where we tuned up the deck together, and then here I am playing it now. And those are services I offer. If you have a deck that's a little bit goofy and you want to dial it in, reach out. That's a thing I do. This deck is a combination aggressive landfall deck, and then it also has a Zenith toolbox package and can go big with natural order. There's a lot of angles to cover here. We've got some Badger Mole Cub action, which is great with cards like Wasteland, especially when you're trying to make landfall triggers, fetch lands as well. Also pretty solid when you're trying to ramp into bigger Zenith things. Badger Mole Cub doing a lot of work in here. The other engine cards, we've got Scythecat Cub. When a land enters, put a +1 counter on target creature you control. If it's the second time this ability resolved this turn, double those counters instead. This gets pretty messed up pretty quick. And then Traveling Chocobo. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You could play lands and birds from the top of your library. If a land or a bird entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent to trigger, it triggers an additional time. This just does everything for the deck. Deck's full of birds, deck wants to hit land drops, deck's full of triggers. Easy money. We cleaned this deck up together. It was a 3-color deck. It was trying to splash for Swords to Plowshares. It even had some Urza Sagas in it, and then that had to make room for a couple Urza Saga things to get. And we boiled it down to the core, what is important to you engines, and the result of that was landfall stuff and cool creature toolbox. And we got to cut all the other stuff, focus in on that, and this is the final product. Let's run it. This is Bird Stompy. I'm on the play in round 1. This hand looks too slow, and it has the Atraxa in it. Oh, mulligan that. It's just 6 cards anyway. Oh no. Betrayed. We're going to 5. There's 20 lands in this deck, plus Dorks. There's Birds of Paradise and Zenith for Dryad Arbor available. Okay, this one I'll have to do. Keep, and I'll put, I think, Tropical Island and Quick Reflexes to the bottom. And my plan is to set up with a Hedge Maze and then play a Badger Mole Cub and see where that goes. A Bayou from the opponent. The Nissa Worldwaker avatar. Runcore uses this avatar as well, who is a Cradle Control main. And I know this is a completely different person, but having the Nissa avatar and leading on Bayou Pass is just so strange to me. It's triggering thoughts in my head. Another land. I actually don't hate that because following up Scythecat Cub next turn kind of rules. I'm going to get Tropical Island, Cub, or yes, Cub. There's 2 Cubs. It's a Cub theme deck. Cub's going to wake up Hedge Maze, because if that leaves the battlefield, I get a little extra off it. Next turn is fixing to be pretty sweet, unless I get interacted with. Bowmaster now. Okay, playing around instants. They could have done that in my upkeep, so I don't have access to the mana. But this is also fine. Veil of Summer. I don't think I want that. Alright, the sequence here. I think what I want to do is, like, I could just play Scythecat Cub, then a fetch land, then attack. I could also Mockingbird Badger Mole Cub, make my Windswept Heath into a Airbend, or Earthbend. I think it's sweeter if I get to pop off next turn. Scythecat Cub, land drop, target Badger Mole Cub, attack. And I'm just going to hang this fetch land for a minute. Eumidian Hatchery. Oh, we're poxing. Fun. No, my bird, my precious bird. That sucks. I had big plans for that, but I am glad I played out the Cub. The Scythecat Cub. That's going to be annoying the entire league. Maybe I'll just call them Cat and Mole. I'm fine against the Smallpox here. A Fatal Push would be pretty annoying. I could even fetch Dryad Arbor if they Smallpox. Okay. But that's actually horrible because you sacrifice the creature, then the land. This does happen in order. Yeah, so I would have to go... Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all. All right, yeah, I'm just going to sack Badger Mole Cub and Tropical Island. Discard Misty. Sack Badger Mole. Sack Trop. They kept their Eumidian Hatchery. They want a ball. Okay. I'll land. I'll take it. And attack. I'll put the extra counter on it. Still don't want the Dryad Arbor. It's good against other edicts, but it's bad against Smallpox. Maybe it actually is fine against Smallpox here. I might have just blown that. It's terrible against Bowmaster. There's a lot to manage here. And if my opponent just casts Barrogoyf, I'm in some amount of trouble. I could have just not fetched, I guess, and then left the option open. Yeah, I blew it. I blew it. When you find the right play seconds after making the wrong one. Good stuff. Your opponent has 2 bugs and an Urza Saga. No, that's a good follow-up. Wasteland, please. Birds of Paradise. Let's get back in. The Traveling Chocobo, insane rip here. Yeah, I would certainly rather have a 4/4 trample in play than 1 extra land. Thinking about the should I have gotten Dryad Arbor or not there. Smallpox is very good against the card Dryad Arbor, but it's even better against just your 1 threat that you have in play. I didn't do the full flowchart of thought there. Bugs are in, and opponent does have the next land to keep Urza Saga going. That stinks. Oh my god. Well, that is one of the best draws in my deck, assuming my opponent does nothing else to disrupt me, which I know is a heavy assumption, but they're at 2 cards in hand. They're probably going to spend this turn Urza Sagaing. I'd be surprised if they have a Saga Bullet that kills Birds of Paradise. All right, Mox Diamond from hand. This is a big crunch of damage. This is 5, 9, 10, 11. All right. If I draw an untapped non-fetch land, I could still win this game. Big rips. Oh, the Choco. That's too late. I'm not going to reveal it. That stinks. I think I win that game if I just don't fetch with that Dryad Arbor. I could have done that a lot better. Okay. Brazen Borrower, Disruptor Flute. I just kind of want stuff that is stuff, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want to be 2-for-1ing myself unless it's on natural order. Daze could have moments of heroism, but it could also be a big smelly brick. Crop Rotation is good against Wasteland, and it's good at getting Wasteland out of my deck, which is a good answer to Urza Saga. Collector Oof, they are going to have Mox Diamonds and Lava Spur Boots kind of stuff. I don't think it's prime time. I don't think I'm quite at Force of Vigor levels of worried about them. My Endurance is already in the main for Life from the Loam. Yeah, I think these are the cards I want. Let's go. That was actually much closer than it may have seemed at the end, and also I made a big mistake, and multiply. Here we go. Keep. The Atrax is in my hand, fuck it. I'm busy. Chocoboing. Bang. Beatdown mode. Ooh, I drew something to do. Unfortunately, I didn't lead on that one. All right, I'm going to play Cavern on Bird and attack for 1. And then second main, I'll copy the Choco. I think it's still the best thing to do here, though this could copy a Orcish Bowmaster next turn. But if they spend Bowmaster to kill Sauce Chocobo copy, and then Traveling Chocobo gets to come in, I'm into that. Dumped a Wasteland. I like that, because I actually don't want to get Wastelanded. This is the clutch turn where I would really like to have 3 mana for at least 1 second to cast my spell. I led on the Cavern because of Wasteland. Like, I would rather have Tropical Island between the 2 if my opponent does waste me here. And if they Smallpox, I will sack the Cavern, discard Atraxa, and sack the smaller Choco, even though this one flies. Oh, wait, actually, that's close. Is the flying worth the 1 point on it? Okay, well, they can't cast that card with that mana anyway. Okay, unfortunately, there's no way to sequence this in a way that does everything I want. All right, attack for 3. Yeah, the Traveling Choco doesn't, like, play an extra land or anything. Ooh. All right, opponent is very dead next turn if they don't do something about these Chocos. With 3 mana. No, the Deluge! That sucks. Fair enough, though. I will re-Choco. Was kind of just hoping that was Barragoyf and I could outmuscle it. But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. But we do live in the world where... That's so fucking funny. I just fetched, like, as a reaction, just like, oh, there's a Chocobo, I'll fetch and cast it, but forgot that it shuffled my deck, but it was still the top card after I shuffled anyway. Moto Premium. I am Thoughtseize proof right now, and I'm drawing Green Sun Zenith. I could Zenith for another Traveling Choco, or I could get Ice Tail Explorer and pop off. Yeah, it's probably Ice Tail. My Saz Chocobo is gone. Midian Hatchery. Do they have the Pox as well? Life is Pain. All I want to do is have a Traveling Chocobo in play. Well, it already drew 2 cards. I'll count this one. I discard Atraxa, sack Cavern, and obviously I only have 1 creature. I'm still drawing Zenith. Opponent discarded Hogak. Holy shit. I did not board in my Caracas. Yeah, this is just going to be like 1 turn, 1 mana, 1 combat step off for the whole game, and now I'm miles behind. Okay, who do we got that I can get for 3? I could just grab a Choco. Does that even do anything? Yeah, with Atraxa out of the deck, I'm struggling. The Chocobo is the one that could be card advantage. Okay, I guess this is what we do. All right, Traveling Chocobo back. I've already used my land drop. Drawing a land next turn. Bad news. I need a series of high-impact birds off the top of my deck. Oh, no, just dead. All right, Pox. Pox is phenomenal versus any deck with Mana Dorks in it, because the card Smallpox is just so fucked up versus anyone who's trying to keep an engine going based on creatures. And tough pairing. We presented the right amount of threats that that Toxic Deluge was exactly what they needed. That one bought them enough time to do all the other 1-for-1 stuff. On to the next round.
The NYSE Open is returning on June 6, 2026 to Long Island, New York. This proxy-friendly vintage tournament has the guaranteed prize pool of 8 pieces of Power 9 to be drafted by the top 8 based on final standings. Any additional profits made from the event will be added to the prize pool as on-site vendor credit. This tournament has been great the last 2 years. How often do you get to act sad about winning just a time walk? You know I'll be there. See you at the NYSE Open on June 6 on Long Island, New York. Use my link in the video description or find the New York Stacks Exchange on melee.gg.
I'm on the play in round 2. My hand's a little dodgy with the 1 land, but the 1 land also includes Birds of Paradise and the ability to go super wide if I get even 1 turn. I am going to get my Tropical Island here, because I need blue mana to do what I'm going to do, and if they kill the bird but don't have Wasteland, but I get Forest, then I don't have blue, and if they Wasteland me, bird makes blue. And Island doesn't do either of those things. Delver's Secrets. Right, land would be great, obviously. Ooh, little Saz Chocobo. I think my job here is to get more mana. Mockingbird becomes Bird of Paradise, and then Mockingbird also becomes Bird of Paradise. This one can be dazed. Oh, yeah. Do I want to copy the copy of Bird of Paradise? I don't think that matters. Okay, I now have 4 mana, which could cast Natural Order. My opponent just drew the daze. Good to know about. Ponder. Shuffled the Ponder. Wasteland. Okay. That's frustrating, but okay. I'm glad it happened this turn and not last turn, before I had 3 Birds of Paradises in play. Scythecat Cub. Neat. All right. I'm going to go Scythecat Cub first to play around the daze, and then I'll offer the Saz Chocobo up to daze, because I don't have a land to grow it anyway. Okay, Force Pitching Daze. That's out of there. Did you have 2 dazes all along? Okay. Decided... I guess the Ponder could have found a second daze. Yeah, that is possible. Can't rule it out. Either that or they decided they didn't care about my 3rd Birds of Paradise. Ooh, a land. All right, do I play around the 3rd daze? Traveling Choco is so much better if it draws a card. All right, I'm gonna go for this. If they daze this, it clears the way for Natural Order next turn. Land off the top. Let's go. Card draw. Surveil 2, baby. I don't want this forest. I don't want this Misty Rainforest. Oh, baby. We're doing stuff. All right, I am under pressure from this Delver. Traveling Chocobo immediately worth. an actual card plus 2 cards of selection. Second color revealed. Well, Scalding Tarn revealed anyway. Do we have Lightning Bolt? We have Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Endurance on the top. So I now can send Natural Order. I didn't fight over Traveling Choco last turn. I can play around Daze by making my land drop. Yeah, I think it's go time here. I'll break the game by sacrificing a blue creature. Ha! Tricked you. Wowie. Atrax is in play. Coastal Explorer on top of my deck. That's going to change quickly. Okay, Wasteland to my hand. Green Sun Zenith. And Coastal Explorer can just hardlock them next turn. And it gets multiple triggers. Oh, but so does Cub. I mean, Atraxa probably is hardlocking them anyway, let's be serious. I'll take the Ice Till. I level Wasteland lock if I can get it. Fetch. I'm going to play Sylvan Safekeeper to make sure Atraxa doesn't get Brazen Borrowed or some silly thing. Okay. I don't know how we lose this one. I even have an attack with Traveling Choco. Bird is the word. Let's go. Okay. We are up against Delver. I like Veil of Summer. I like Brazen Borrower. The crop rotation's interesting because it's very bad against counterspells, but very good against Wasteland, and Delver contains both. I mean, on the draw against a better Daze deck, I think I can shave some of my Dazes. I don't think I'm going to mess with crop rotation. I'll bring in Veil and Borrower and call it there. I'll keep this one. This can Zenith for Arbor on 1, and then do Badgermole Cub or Endurance stuff on 2. I don't really expect the Dryad Arbor to still be in play versus this deck, whether they counter the Zenith on the way in or if they Bolt or Wasteland Dryad Arbor. Very susceptible to destruction here, but it still rolls pretty hard if I can get it in. Opponent has a Dragon's Rage Channeler and a Bauble's worth of selection. That resolved very quickly. Drawing another Zenith is so nice, because there's always that tension when you're a Zenith deck of, do I use my Zenith to ramp, or do I want it on turn 3 in case I find lands anyway? But now I just get it all. Ponder guarantees the third card type, but they didn't surveil away. Island. Grafdigger's Cage. Yeah, that's fair. That means my Badgermole Cub doesn't work too, right? Like, Earthbending. When it dies or is exiled, return it to the battlefield tapped. Yeah, it would not come... Or wait, it would be a land card in the graveyard. Okay. Yeah, this specifies creature cards, and by the time after it dies, it becomes a land. Okay, cool. Neat. That's a fun little thing. Big Badger Mole, get in there. Wake up this Misty Rainforest, who is currently on blocking duty. Also interesting, they surveilled away a Wasteland when they played the Cage. They're not convinced that's part of the game, or at least not the game they want to be playing. This is Delirium when this Brainstorm hits the graveyard. I could pitch Zenith to Endurance and then block with Misty Rainforest, or block with Badgermole Cub. That's a way better block. I think I'd rather try to cast Endurance next turn, though. Red in the pool. What the hell is this? Do you have Pyroclasm in your deck? That would be insane. Wow, they do actually have Rough Tumble. Well done. Well, I'm fetching in response, obviously. Or, yeah, it's better to fetch in response. But I might need to pay for Daze, so I'm actually going to Endurance first. Because now I don't need Endurance to block DRC. It'll just die to the Rough. Cool. Graveyard's gone. Endurance is gone. Fetch for Hedge Maze now that I don't have to pay for Daze. Misty comes back. Hedge Maze. Cavern of Souls. That's not what I'm into here. Alright, everybody's everything is dead. And we both have 3 cards in hand. Perfectly even. A waste. Brainstorm, please find something good. Okay, creature card. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. So that also turns off Choco. Man, Grafdigger's Cage is good against this deck. I'm going to put back Forest, and what's the other card to put back? Does maybe Veil of Summer doesn't matter? I'll fire off the Wasteland. Gotta try to do something here. You've got a Wasteland as well. Alright, cracking that one off. Badgermole Cub has done its job. I'll fetch for a Trop. Another Brainstorm. I'll keep casting those if I keep drawing them. Quick Reflex is not currently protecting anything. Still believe in Mockingbird somewhere, someday. Ponder. Birds of Paradise Days Veil. Birds of Paradise does not help. Ice Till Explorer. Wow, that card's good. If it resolves, something's happening in the end step. Oh, we're seeking a beast. Fun for this build. Delver and Preordain flipped off of that one. Conveniently both castable off of the available mana. Preordain. Top. Fuck my life. Okay. And I would love a land here. Send it, baby. I don't think I can afford to play around days. I'm just casting my spell. Please don't have days. Wasteland comes into play. Waste you. Try to constrict your options here. Delver reveals Ponder. There's probably only one basic land in their deck, which I hope is an issue for them. Here we go. If they play Murktide right now, it'll be 5/5, but they are at use it or lose it territory with that guy. There it is. Okay, draw for turn. Don't need a fetch land, but that's actually perfect because I can play Brainstorm here and then mill away the cards I don't want. I actually can't play Dryad Arbor from the graveyard. Okay, Brainstorm. I'm mostly looking for Brazen Borrower. I'm certainly not looking for Natural Order or Green Sun Zenith. Okay, Natural Order and Misty Rainforest can go back on top, and then I'll play Cavern of Souls first. Cavern on Bird, because I'm going to copy Ice Till and then play Wasteland also. Uncounterable Bird. And this one has flying. Keep that in mind. Wasteland mills the other bad card. And a fresh one, a random one, because I have two of these now. Wasteland that. And I'm going to have to figure out Murktide Regent. Oh, I have another land drop still. That's fun. Okay. Hedge Maze. Make sure to put that at the bottom of the stack, so I actually get the card. Natural Order milled, Legolas's Quick Reflex is milled, and Veil of Summer, not what I'm interested in. Pass the turn. I can actually play Mockingbird to copy Murktide Regent next turn, but it would only be 3/3. A Ponder. Yeah, I'm in the market here for basically any of my landfall things. The Scythecat Cub, they're all still in the deck. Ponder didn't shuffle. All right, speaking of not shuffling Ponders, game on. Ponder. Traveling Chocobo, Scythecat Cub. Hello. What would they keep on top and then not shuffle? If it's Force of Will, that's a beating. I do have this Veil of Summer that can push through it, but that costs me a turn. That also means I have to miss my land drops. All right, I am just going to send it here. This is game over if it works. It is game over if it gets countered too, probably. No, I get another turn of looking. Dang. All right. That's not a surprise. It's just disappointing. All right, Wasteland mills these two cards I know I don't want. And I guess I'll play a Misty Rainforest. And I have an actual forest here as well. I fetch. I think there's still a couple left. There are. Here we go. Wasteland milled. Saz Chocobo milled. I'll play another forest. That might have just been a whole ass throw, actually. Oh, I would have been attacked to 4. And then that could make... It would be... I could play 3 fetch lands. And then this would be way bigger than Murktide. Yeah, I might have just put it in the garbage. All right, Murktide attacking me down to 3. I'm now in bolt range. Birds of Paradise, let's go. All right. I'm going to play Mockingbird and copy Insectile Aberration. And this is a double block that can kill Murktide. I'm actually going to stop playing lands from my graveyard so I don't accidentally mill myself to death. I've also been missing damage. Who needs it? Oh. So this Birds of Paradise will have to chump this turn if my opponent attacks with both. Hopefully they attack with neither and just get stuck. I lose to Lightning Bolt in a variety of ways. Kill one of my blockers or just kill my face. Yeah, I think I missed an attack for 2 last turn. We've been playing the same turn for the entire game. All right. They want to party. My flying theme deck kicking in here. They'll take Ice Till down with them probably, and then my Delver can trade with their Delver next turn. Here we go. I need them to basically never have anything. Ooh, Frenzied Bee. That can't be countered. And it hits pretty hard. I guess I'll attack for 5, and the race is on. Just going to super check that they don't have any tech lands that I'd like to mill into. I don't know. All right. Yep. A Ponder. Uh-oh. That's a lot of looks at Lightning Bolt or the land for Lightning Bolt. There's 3 Volks in the graveyard. Uh-oh, here we go. There it is. There it is! Please cast Brainstorm. Please cast Brainstorm. Boo. Boo. Alright, so I think this Delver line was in play much longer than I gave it credit for, and that was a mistake by me. Like, I could have copied that Delver 2 turns ago and froze out the Murktide. I think I want a Force of Vigor in and a Natural Order out. That just switches my exposure to Gravedigger's Cage. Like, one less thing that gets got by it and one more answer to it. We saw 2 cages. They milled past one, and that cage actually did completely win in the game by itself. I don't think I want Primus. Or, wait, Primus. Primus is castable and destroys Gravedigger's Cage. Alright. I'll try Primus over the second Force of Vigor. Hand is medium, but I'm going to run with it. Chocobo. Dragon's Rage Channeler, which dies to Legolas's quick reflexes. Unless they get Delirium right now somehow, which would require double Bauble and each Bauble milling a unique card type. Well, they're halfway to the goal. Okay, Instant is already represented, which is good for me. Quick Reflexes reads, untap target creature until end of turn, gains hexproof reach, and whenever this creature becomes tapped, deals damage equal to power to target creature. Guess what? That creature has 1 toughness. Bang! Bird control in full effect. My position is dubious. It's fair to say. But my opponent has to think about, even if they have Wasteland in their hand, do they want to waste the landfall deck that has a landfall threat already and be behind another card and another turn? Might be the only play they have. All right, here we go. Fetch land off the top. Make it look easy. Shit. All right. Bad news, team. The cheese worked. Yeah, fetch land there would have got Chocobo out of bolt range as well. Maybe my opponent's also on nothing. Nope, they've got something. Shit, they've got everything. This is still fine if I find a land sooner than later. Shit. Man, Legacy decks are so good. And my opponent has the same kind of infrastructure as me of cheap threats plus Wasteland, but their threats cost 1 and mine eventually cost 3. Right on time. I don't think Wasteland is going to help me here. I'm going to keep trying to make my opponent's life harder. Delver didn't flip. Wasteland's being insanely punished. Opponent just hitting all their land drops. Scythecat Cub. And my hand has Mockingbird and Brainstorm in it. A land we could start doing stuff. Bird can copy the Insectile Aberration, and then I got more of that going on. This is clearly a Seek the Beast. Yep. Seek the Beast, hit Murktide. Okay. This is no longer possible. GG's. I tried. Got wastelanded, team. On to the next round.
The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here.
I am on the play in round 3. I am going to keep this hand, and I think I'm going to lean on Wasteland, because I really want this green source. Being 2 matches into actually playing this deck after theory crafting it, I think we actually want a lot more Birds of Paradise, because one of the nutty things you could do is if you have turn 1 Mana Dork, turn 2 Badgermole Cub, then you can also Mockingbird the Badgermole Cub on turn 2 and go into turn 3 with something like 10 mana and all those different creatures. And Birds of Paradise, completely on theme. You can shred past it in the mid-game with Traveling Chocobo. I think we either lean into Cub or we cut Cub. Those are the options. Oh, okay. I was going to play Cub this turn. Now I can Wasteland them and Zenith for Dryad Arbor. I would love to get greedy on this, but if my opponent's going to tap land pass, I feel like I have to lean on that. My turn 3 would have been amazing if I could have kept that Wasteland in play, but I just don't think that I can. Crystal Vein. Oh, baby. What are you doing with that? Ponder. Ponder for the land. All right. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit here. Biscuit somewhat achieved. Cavern on Badger Mole is not exactly what I signed up for, but it's hard to ship a land here. Cavern on Badger and Mole are both options. Those are the two things. Cavern on Mole. I guess I could have put Cavern on Bird and just cast this for normal mana because I have Dryad Arbor. Right, that's how cards work. Okay, I'd prefer not to be Blood Mooned this turn, but I do still have 4 power in play if that does happen. And I have Ice Till Explorer Go Nuts available next turn if they don't lock me out of the game here. Chrome Mox. Pitching Pyrogoyf. If they cast a 3-drop here... Okay, something else has to happen. Simian Spirit Guide happens. Blood Sun. All lands lose all abilities except mana abilities. Okay, so that means my lands won't come back if they die with Earthbend. Fascinating. Okay. Blood Sun is usually in like, oh my god. Oh, that was a good one. Blood Sun is usually in like mono red sneak attack, not in this deck. Yeah, the Blood Sun actually matters here. Wait, oh, is it still happening? Was that supposed to happen? I actually don't know. The rules elude me. I don't know anything about anything. Okay, my opponent's got 1 card in hand. I think I want to play my Scythecat Cub this turn. Try to get on the board. Yeah, Blood Sun is really good at abusing City of Traders because it doesn't sacrifice when you use it. Blood Sun is in some cases even better against fetch lands than Blood Moon is because I don't even get to tap them for red. Oh, we're an Eldrazi deck. Wowie. Okay. This is fun. And my deck is largely built on fetch lands. This might become challenging. Okay, I could Mockingbird this turn to have an extra Scythecat Cub. I think I want to do that rather than Brainstorm, risk missing. My fetch lands don't work anyway. This Daze locks up a land drop if my opponent has another 3-drop to cast here. There's a good chance they're going to tap out every turn of the game from here. City of Traders, uh-oh. Please hardcast a Fury, I guess. Now I can't even get a 4-drop with this. Oh, how are we doing? How are we doing? Don't have the 1 ring. Oh my god. That fucking City of Traders beating my Daze. Alright. 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 I guess I can't concede yet. Yeah, Flickering Blood Sun even draws a card. That was super annoying. Yeah, I think this one is gonna fall apart on us here. Brainstorm. And Misty Rainforest doesn't do anything. Yeah, we're dead. Okay. Alright, alright. Yeah, the Blood Sun and the Fury into Eldrazi Confluence, specifically cast off of a top deck City of Traders to beat Daze. You got me! Okay, Force of Wills are coming in. Brazen Borrower is coming in. Consigned to Memory coming in. The reason Forces are in the sideboard is because the blue count doesn't support them in the main, but we get to bring in a bunch of blue cards and we can rock it that way. This Veil of Summer can go. I don't think I'll be Sylvan Safekeeping. Endurance, Natural Order, one of my best cards. Endurance, mediocre. Quick Reflexes might be okay, but you need mana up when you go for it. Yeah, I think I'm out on Quick Reflexes. Frenzied Baloth punches through the 1 ring, which is a card they might have. It would make sense. Oh, Force of Vigor might want to be in here too. It's a heavy sideboard. I don't think I'm going to be Ice Till Exploring. I want to jam Natural Order on this opponent. I think some of the Traveling Chocos can go. And maybe one of the Zaz Chocos. Heavy sideboard. Let's do it. Okay, I will keep this hand. And I'm going to fetch for Trop and play Birds of Paradise first. I think having more mana is more important than having a slightly larger Choco. Certainly against this mana denial deck. Ancient Tomb. Chalice on 1. That locks the Brainstorm. I'll daze that. We could pay with a Spirit Guide. I could follow up with Force, or I would just hold Brainstorm to force the next thing. Because I don't care about the Chalice on birds. Okay, this could be a Zenith for 1, or it could be a Brainstorm and then Zenith for 0. It could also be Saz Choco and then 2 lands. I think that's what I want to do. Saz Choco, drop Zenith for Dryad Arbor. Okay, that's more toughness than a Fury can kill. And I have Force for Fury. 4 mana. Well, that kills all my creatures, so I'll fight it. Might still lose next turn. It's a good time for a big draw. Wasteland's a pretty big draw, I think. All right, now the classic decision. Waste the Ancient Tomb so their next land kills their only mana, or waste the city so their lands hurt them for the rest of the game. And knowing they have Blood Sun in the deck, I think I want them to hurt for the rest of the game. All right, you're at 12. This is dubious. A mountain and a Boomby Zooms with no material to throw. At least not face up. Is this the blocking duty, Boomby Zooms? That would be so nice. Okay. All right, deck, a spell, please. I'll take that shit all day. Brainstorm, Brainstorm Zenith, and Force of Vigor. I can Zenith for 1 and then hit a land drop, or I could Zenith for 2 after hitting a land drop. My Zenith for 2, there's Cub and Mole. Oh, Frenzied Baloth as well. Interesting. All right, well, I'm putting back these 2. And then Cavern on Bird. 4, 5, 6, 7. Zenith for 2. This also shuffles the Brainstorm. Cub gives me a lot of mana next turn, but otherwise mostly doesn't matter. Or Badger Mole Cub. Scythecat Cub doesn't do anything this turn. Makes next turn slightly better. Frenzied Baloth probably trades off with Broadside this turn. Yeah, I think I just want the haste damage. Yeah, this will put them to 3 if they don't block, and 5 if they do. I guess they could block Saz Chocobo if they don't care about trading with the Baloth. Okay, they're betting on top deck Fury to save them. I'm all in. This also means the One Ring won't save them. Okay, 4 mana, going to 1. And Pyroglyph could kill 2 things here. Like they shoot this, attack with Broadside, throw it at this, they're still dead to Dryad Arbor. Okay. The last 2 cards in hand are Fury, red card, then you got me. The lethal Dryad Arbor coming in hot. Attack for 1. Yeah, I'm not going to show them the Traveling Choco if I don't have to. That was nice. The Disruptor Flute could hit Broadside, I guess, and make it just a 2/2 menace. Bloodfall Primus could give me a sometimes castable backdoor natural order option. Like if I draw a Traxa, natural order just doesn't do anything. I don't think I want to get too cute with any of that. This is the plan. My opponent hasn't seen the natural order yet. If that shows up, it should be a complete surprise. This hand is horrendous versus a turn 1 Blood Sun. And like, okay, if they don't have that. All right. Dice have been rolled. Ancient Tomb. Chalice. I don't love, but I can play through. I think I should Wasteland here. At Chalice games, you have to slow them down, so you have time to navigate the Chalice, and them following up with some 4-drop is unacceptable. Cavern of Souls. Surprise, motherfucker. Old Saz Chocobo. Can't be countered. Okay, Blood Sun. Pretty devastating. I hope that doesn't happen. If they don't have that, I'm gaming. Another Wasteland. Wow. Okay, they didn't have a spell last turn. Like, I could Zenith for 1 here. I could hold up Consigned in Memory here. I think I want to Zenith for bigger. I mean, wasting them is so tempting, though. I'm going to play Misty Rainforest. I'm going to go for the development. And I'm not going to push the extra damage because I want to get Hedge Maze if they don't do anything. And I might want to get Basic Forest if they do have something. Oh, nothing at all. Wasteland just got really sexy. Hedge Maze coming in. Tropical Island. I don't need that. Scythecat Cub. We're doing it, team. All right, I could push the advantage with the Wasteland, or... Yeah, I'm just going to do that. There's no or. Wasteland. Yeah, the alternative was just hope they don't draw a land again and play the fetch land for a jillion damage right now. Fury doesn't kill Choco. Just 4 damage on Scythecat Cub. Off you go. I pitched a Pyroglyph. Mockingbird. Okay. That can be Another Saz Choco. Can't be countered. This one of Cavernous Souls going to town. Fetch land. And I'm just going to fetch for basic forest here. I don't think that Zenith for Dryad Arbor to trigger the Choco again is better than Consigned to Memory right now. Because Consigned to Memory can counter a Fury trigger, any Eldrazi. And getting Dryad Arbor doesn't change the clock. They're dead next turn either way. We got the GGs. Out-prisoned to the prison deck. Saz Chocobo, the old 1-mana 6/7. I'm doing the arm thing. It looks like the Chocobo is also doing the arm thing. On to the next round. We're on the board.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 4. A hand that's a little slow, but Island Ponder Keep, right? Opponent says hi, everyone. Everyone say hi to Matori. Look at this Birds of Paradise avatar. Do they even know what's coming for them? Opponent's on a Multa 5 with a 61 card deck. I don't like my chances here. This smells like oops. Which means I'm going to try to ponder for one of my 3 dazes. Or my 1 endurance. That works too. Okay, don't shuffle past the turn. Though endurance barely actually beats oops all spells. Confirmed. Tapped land, alright. I guess I'll play Hedge Maze here to bin this trop I don't want. And then play Sylvan Safekeeper. Their hand is slow. I hope that doesn't mean it's stable. It was a Multa 5. Opponent said in the chat, Ali Rade. Yes, that is Ali's invitational card, Sylvan Safekeeper. Another tapped land. And I didn't get Thoughtseized. Good news. Alright, deck. I have enough lands, please. Do I want to hardcast Endurance? That doesn't matter. Alright. I'm going to get the Traveling Choco in the mix. Badgermole Cub. It would be great if we can just kind of curve out against an oops hand that is completely non-functional and we never actually need this Endurance. The opponent might also just have the full send ready to go, but they're waiting for protection because they're not under that much pressure. Ice Till Explorer. And me without a Wasteland. I could play another Choco. I could play Badgermole and Choco. I could fetch and see if there's a bird on top of my deck. Yeah, I think fetch to see if there's a bird on top of my deck plays for me. There is not a bird on top of the deck. There is a Badgermole Cub in play, though. Alright, put you to 14. There's real pressure now. Opponent's gonna want to start doing stuff. Undercity Informer resolves. If there's a pact over there, I'm just dead. Alright, can we count to 4 packs in the graveyard? 1, 2, 3. There does appear to be a pack in the hand. Well, here we go. I'll cast Endurance. And there's the pact. I do have one more cheeky play. Is Bridge from Below part of their plan? It does not have to be. I do see 1 in there. They go for a cheeky Cabal Therapy. I can punish, or no, I can't because they have Poxwalkers. Like, I can sack my Trop right now, and that would blow up Bridge from Below, but they'll have 3 creatures anyway because of Poxwalkers. Alright, I don't want them to know that I know that trick. You got me. Honestly, lasting 4 turns in game 1 versus oops. I'll take that, I guess. Alright, Disruptor Flute, all the blue cards come in. Collector Oof is probably worth having. Veil of Summer is worth having. Quick Reflexes doesn't matter. Frenzied Bee doesn't matter. Safekeeper doesn't matter. I still, if I had a Wasteland in my graveyard, that might have come up that game. But I don't think that's what we're going to be doing. I did talk to Gorehound about having a Bajuka Bog in the sideboard as part of this crop rotation sideboard package. We couldn't find room for it, but it would be useful in a spot like this. I think the Traveling Chocos are just too slow here. The extremity of this matchup, and this happens every time I play Brew on the channel and pair into something like Oops. They want to make the game about a single turn, and that means every cute thing has to take a backseat to just surviving it all. I don't think Badgermole Cub matters in this matchup. Scythecat Cub is still my win con. Saz Chocobo is still my win con. Okay, here comes 10 cards. And none of these 10 cards are like great. We're not talking about ley lines and fairy macabres here. I'll mulligan this non-functional hand. I'll keep this hand with Consign to Memory and Endurance. Bottom, Brainstorm. Leyline of Sanctity. All right, I can't Endurance you anymore. Fine, I won't. Right, I might end step Brainstorm for Velocity here. We got there on that one. Endurance stinks now, and I have to redraw one of these anyway, so I'll take the Forest. I guess I want to fetch and then ponder, or I could ponder then fetch. I have to look at the Endurance again, but I think that's better than not being able to shuffle at all. Okay, I'll just fully shuffle these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. That was almost at natural order, because this fetch land could get Dryad Arbor, and I think it will if my opponent does nothing for another turn cycle. Okay, end step, fetch, get Dryad Arbor, set up the natural order. Discarded Balustrade Spy. Ponder. Zenith. What does Zenith get here? It gets Birds of Paradise, which is fine. Oh shit. No, I fucked that up. I fucked that up. I fucked that up. Oh, damn it. I need this Consign to Memory up. Shit. I was thinking about next turn at the expense of this turn. Made a huge mistake. All right, I'm just going to fully shuffle the Ponder now. Damn it. God damn it, me. Why would you do that? Yeah, I had natural order next turn without the Zenith. I just like thought it was free for a second there, and it obviously was not. All right, now I only have days to save me. However, my opponent has not been doing anything. Plays continue to do nothing. I only have Dryad Arbor in play. What could go wrong? And I can't Endurance you. Okay. They've gone to cleanup, discarded Cabal Therapy. No! No! Why? Why? Fuck you, deck. Fuck you. Fuck! God damn it. The world doesn't want me to beat Oops All Spells. I think that's my lesson here. And I still have Days plus Consign. There are some Brainstorms left in my deck. That was so fucking shitty. Losing my mind. My opponent's still playing Draw Go at a healthy 18 life. Discarded a Spirit Guide. That's fucked up. They've discarded both a payoff and mana. So what are they looking for? Are they waiting for protection? Right, here's a Wasteland. I think I should natural order for something that hits harder than Dryad Arbor. What's the biggest thing that I have? I boarded out Ice Till. God damn. All right, it might just be go get a Chocobo. No, I'm just going to keep attacking, actually. Because that would tap me out of kicking the Consign, which might be important to beat Pact. Lotus Petal. That's in. Dark Ritual with a colorless floating. Right, I am going to daze this, because they're committed to a triggered ability at this point. But I need the blue. I can't hardcast the daze. I want them to Pact this. Right, they instead paid for it with a Spirit Guide. That makes sense, having discarded several of them already. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast with Replicate. Counter this 4 times. That covers if their hand is all 3 Pact of Negations. I can't wait to counter the Thassa's Oracle trigger because their graveyard is full of Cabal Therapies. That's not how you fight Oops All Spells anymore. They have a creature in play. That's a 2/3. They are just straight up winning the damage race. Or they could Therapy me. I hope that takes a little while to come back from. Oh, okay. This is what I was going to natural order for. Can I get some cards off of this? There's one. All right. I've hit a land drop. I've gone +1 card. Magic Online with the sense of humor. That maximum punish, that ponder that I should have stacked differently, and then that guarantees Atraxa into shuffle. Actually, it's fine. Draw Atraxa. Eat shit, me. Do you want a damage race, or is that on blocking duty? Yeah, blocking duty makes sense. I'm now winning the race. Come on, Scythecat Cub. That doesn't help anyway. What am I talking about? All right, I could natural order for a Cub and get the beats going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, natural order, sack the Dryad Arbor, go get Scythecat Cub. And I guess I could see arguments for Collector Oof there, but I'm gonna punch. I'm gonna get this Veil of Summer off the top of my deck too. And I'll get... Do I want Hedge Maze? Yeah, I think I do. Daze on top. That will be good if I get another turn. Though, are they just dead here? How does doubling triggers work? Not as good as I hoped. Why isn't this more? Oh, if it's the second time. Yeah, it doesn't double each time after the first. All right, Daze to the graveyard, fuck it. Disruptor Flute. All right, I'll leave some piece of interaction on top. I believe in Disruptor Flute more than I believe in Daze. Though, if they kill me this turn, it doesn't matter. Please don't have it. I have lethal right now. I can bounce their Spy and attack for exactly 10. Assuming the top of my deck is a blank. We got a turn, everybody. All right, targeting... Oh, right. This doubles, so it was going to be way more than 10 anyway. I don't even have to... Or I do have to bounce because this one doesn't have trample. Petty Theft. We got the GG in the chat. Hell yeah. We did it. We beat Oops All Spells in a totally normal game where I had plenty of normal things happening. Okay. Crash Out avoided. I still think this is the best presentation of my deck that I have. Let's go. They still haven't seen a Force of Will. They don't know that's a card I have. They've seen Daze and Consign and Endurance. And I wonder if that Leyline is going to leave the deck now that they saw that I actually have blue counterspells and I'm not just a green deck. Okay, Daze and Brainstorm here. I think this has to be a mulligan. Opponents on 6. I'll mulligan as well. All right, opponents on 5. I'm going to keep and hope I get one turn to hold up this Consign to Memory. That might be wishful thinking, but my deck's not super well equipped here. And my opponent has shown willingness to keep slow hands. Like, both of these games have been very slow. Okay, 5 cards. Plenty of 5-card sequences that win. Tapped, tapped, tapped. Shit. Well, I'm dead. Please cast Barrowgoyf. I don't know if I could beat that either. All right, GG. Yeah. Oops All Spells. That's the tax. You play against it every league, and you don't have fun. On to the final round.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables.
I'm on the play in the final round with an unkeepable hand. I'll mulligan this one. This Atraxa just wants to be with me so bad. Why are you obsessed with me, Atraxa? Okay, I mean, this one does the Choco thing, does it pretty hard, and I'll keep. One of the twists with Natural Order and Green Sun Zenith style decks is you have cards like Dryad Arbor and Atraxa that you never want to draw, which is an actual deck building advantage to Yorion Zenith decks because they're less likely to have the shitters in their hand, versus this one where I just mauled a 7 with a shitter into a 6 with a slightly worse shitter. Or slightly less shitty shitter, I guess. Slightly better shitter. I think for this hand, Ice Tail Explorer goes to the bottom, and off we go. Choco brother, get in there. Another land that's not Dryad Arbor would be great, because then I could double spell next turn. Prismatic Vista strategy. These usually have Swords to Plowshares in them. Yeah, there you go. That qualifies. Another one. Bang. But you're glad you're not facing 2 1/1s, 2 1/2s. Okay, I'm gonna fire the Brainstorm here. Try to get cards that don't suck into my hand. Challenge level impossible. We've got Endurance and Veil of Summer to go back, I guess. Wait, how is this gonna stack? If I successfully cast Traveling Chocobo next turn, I guess I want Mockingbird at the bottom, though casting Choco next turn doesn't matter. All right, yeah, I'll just take Veil of Summer. Attack with my mighty 1/2. Who could have predicted this? One of the most commonly played Legacy white cards, defeating me because I missed a land drop. Yeah, that could have been played around. Okay, so I'm already thinking about the rebuild of the deck, and more dorks, more mana is the answer. This Teferi is going to bounce Dryad Arbor every turn of the game from now on, because Felia can flicker it. I'm not going to concede to this, but it is very bad. Okay, Brainstorm. I'll start there. See if I could find a land and get out of this hellhole. Absolutely not. Well, ugh. Yeah, this Teferi has me locked. Missing lands, and Teferi could bounce Birds of Paradise or Dryad Arbor every turn for the rest of the game. I'm done. Okay, Veil of Summer coming in. Brazen Borrower looking good. I don't think I want to go to the forces here. Sylvan Scapekeeper is excellent against white decks. Quick Reflex is solid. Endurance probably doesn't matter. I think it's just a Traveling Choco. I can Zenith for it if it gets there, but so far, when it's in my hand, it's just been pretty bad. Okay, I have Ollie. I'll keep this. That gives me some amount of insulation versus Swords to Plowshares, or at least draws out the first one. I'd probably just let this go. It's not worth a land, but if my opponent feels they have to respond to this, that's fine with me. Brainstorm first. Okay, Birds of Paradise is pretty nice. Traveling Choco, all right as well. I guess what I want to do is go Windswept Heath, Mockingbird. Then I'll go Cavern on Bird, play Birds of Paradise. And the plan is to cast Traveling Choco and hit my land drop next turn, immediately get a card off it. And step Plains and then didn't do anything with it. Okay, we're looking at Felia again. No thanks. Okay, Uncounterable Bird spell. Windswept Heath, fetch. I'm going to get Basic Forest just in case their next play is back to basics. I'll at least give myself some reasonable out to that. There's Felia. I need something that actually wins the game now. I need one of my landfall payoffs. Mountain, Cryptic Coat. All right. I think they are correct here in understanding that my Choco's not worth all this, but these two are. You think I care about that? Traveling Choco rules them all. All right, 2 creatures over there. Quick Reflex is kind of cool. I'm going to Brainstorm because I know I can put at least 2 castable, playable cards on the top of my deck. And then there's Windswept Heath under it all. Okay, put back Mockingbird, Mockingbird. I could copy a Cloak. I think it would just be a 2/2 with flying because that's what Mockingbird does. So I think I actually want more Birds of Paradise. Mockingbird, Mockingbird. Hit my land drop. Ice Till's under there. I'm not super into that guy. So it does play Dryad Arbor forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can Zenith for 7 next turn. And I don't need Ice Till's help to do that. Yeah, I guess I'll fetch and cast Ponder. Ponder. Ooh, okay. I'm going to go Misty, Natural Order, Scythecat Cub. Draw the Cub now. Natural Order's on top of my deck, which means Misty Rainforest is under that. I could protect something with Quick Reflexes here. Yeah, good attack. I'm not going to interact with that. Big draw, Scythecat Cub. I'm trying to bait out interaction before I go for the Atraxa. Like that Force of Will right there. Done. A land from the top of my deck. Could I Zenith for anyone that would... Alright, I'm going to go for the Atraxa here. Well, that resolved. It's Atraxa time. We'll see if that's good enough, but I've got it. I've got a Brainstorm, a Scythecat Cub, and a fetch land. And I might as well take the Natural Order. It's on the house. And Traveling Chocobo probably dies here to a Felia if I attack, so I'm just not going to do that. Ironically, the Vigilance on Atraxa means I don't get to just mosh it down next turn. It won't become tapped. Right, this is the best Traveling Chocobo I've had in this league. It's been good for like 5 cards already. Warping out a Rizzler. Too many cards in hand, no face-up way to blink it. Swords to Plowshares. All right, well, I have the reflexes for that. Split second. Okay, Atraxa is safe. Oh, well, that stinks, because I actually do have Wasteland in my hand, and if I had played it out, I could have interacted with that. I think the Scythe Cat Cubs will still win this turn, but that is an annoying twist. And I'm going to save this fetch land. Getting Hedge Maze here is not worth the beats that are going to come out of this cub. Atraxa has returned to my hand. I can literally just cast her, though. Is that better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's got to be better. Okay, I'm going to cast Atraxa. Forest, green, green, blue, blue, colorless, black, white. Resolves. There's the Wasteland. Wink, wink. A Brazen Borrower, Green Sun Zenith, Wasteland, Veil of Summer. I'll take those ones. I'll play the Wasteland that I totally needed to find there. And got to discard some cards here. I think this other Wasteland, probably not doing much. Natural Order's already done its job. And kind of really into these lands. Brainstorm, my hand's already great. Okay. It's possible days will still be good for something. Opponent can put me to 6 here. I hope they don't have 2 Time Walks or 2 Lightning Bolts. Prismatic Vista. Wrath of God here catches up or resets the game. Or just Rizzler from Exile, that's fine. Now I'm cooking. Okay, so I can play a cat for 2. I can Zenith for another cat for 3. Cat. Cat. Right, a bunch of those now. I don't want to play that land. Fetch. Trigger, 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 trigger. Atraxa doesn't need to be any bigger. I think I'm just going to pile onto Chocobo here. Bang. 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 That's 9 power now. I can attack with these and then decide in combat if I want to buff other things and how much. Opponents said they just realized it's me they're playing against and they said hi, YouTube. Everyone say hi to Thunderbrow. Okay, so this is 7 damage. I can make it 11. I think the life gain's worth it. Tropical Island in there. I'm going to gas up the Atraxa for... Make sure I'm just out of reach here. Oh, could I have Zenith? No, Dried Arbor is in the graveyard. Okay, that's fine. Pass the turn. Brainstorm. Blooded Strand. Fetch to 2. What if Flage the Untouchable is under the Cryptic Coat? That would get me. Quantum Riddler with 2 cards in hand. Draws 1. That's close call, because with double it would have drawn 3 if they could have gotten 1 lower. All right, we're getting a game 3. Let's go. Do I want to make any changes here? The only other game plan I can really think of here is if I bring in the Force of Wills and just become kind of natural order, like full natural order centric, and kind of ignore the entire beatdown strat. I'd probably cut the Saz Chocobos to make room for that. Though those have been nice at taxing my opponent's early interaction. They're pretty bad draws late, but they're also part of my combo endgame. I would like to flip the Dazes for a Force of Wills on the draw, but the blue count's not even close to supporting that, especially if I'm cutting blue cards to make room for the Forces. Oh, Caracas could probably be in. They're a Felia deck. Yeah, that's a way to go. It's +1 tech land. What would I cut for that? Probably one of the Saz. Okay, here we go. A 1-lander with Saz Chocobo. This has never gone wrong before, but this hand does have double days, and they are a Stoneforge Felia deck. This one has a lot more going on than it may appear. Oh, right, Tameo. That card's in the format. All right, little Saz Choco. That Brainstorm is a nice pickup. That's probably the best non-land card I could have drawn here. Vista. All right, are we going to jam the Stoneforge? No, set up a Felia. Okay. Wow, fetch land, gaming. Okay, fetch land, grow my Choco. I can't get this to 3 power to kill the Tameo right now. I'm going to attack, because I'm going to Daze Felia anyway, and Felia flickering out Choco sucks. I'm just going to get a Tropical Island, because hardcasting a Daze here lets me potentially still have the Traveling Choco next turn. Oh, I can untap Saz Choco. Ooh. Oh, okay, they were just cracking the clue, that's fine. Yeah, the untap words on this would have also beaten Felia. Interesting. Tameo doing more shit. Saz Chocobo is one of the 1-drops that could actually keep up with a flip Tameo, though. Presuming I continue to hit land drops. Quick reflexes. Save my son. My beautiful son. I want to end step Brainstorm because hitting land drops and having mana open. I am playing off curve, but that is important. That is on purpose. I think it's right here. Cracking a clue in the end step. Alrighty. Wasteland doesn't matter. Getting some Chocos in does. I'll put these 2 lands back. I'm just going to draw them all anyway. Or I'd rather them see the Wasteland and the Caracas be a surprise. Wasteland, Traveling Choke in there. Tameo continues beating down. My birds do not fly. Thanks, Final Fantasy lore. Tameo flipping into certain demise here. Tons of power and toughness on the board. That land means Swords to Plowshares can beat Double Days. I hope they tap out for some shit like Teferi right now. I'm so ready. 3 in the pool. Oh, this is a Prismatic Ending. Skadoosh! Wowie. That worked. That's a big turn. We got the oof. Nice. Yeah. Days. Legal in the format. Can I hit a fetch land on top of my deck? No, I cannot. Okay. So I'm going to replay the Trop. We're going to have 2 triggers. Wasteland's going to find a home here. I think that is better than playing the second Choco. And then Saz Choco takes out Tameo by itself. And Traveling Choco can go face. Nice. Kind of doing it here. And there's still the Days in the pocket. And decks like this hate getting Wastelanded. They're very good at ignoring Wasteland. But if they do have to play into it, it can be devastating. Because they're built to not get Wastelanded. They're not built to push through Wasteland. And that Tundra taking them off to double blue and or double white this turn could really mess up their hand. As I can't imagine there's many red cards in against me. Oh my goodness. They're just passing the turn. That Brainstorm didn't work. Okay, it's a plow in the main phase. That does work. All right, Saz Choco, you made a good run out of it, fella. All right, I get to draw a card. Ooh, 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 ooh. How do I want to do this? I could play Safekeeper and then play... Yeah, I'm going to play Safekeeper and then play Mockingbird as a copy of Safekeeper. Because if I fetch, the Mockingbird goes away. Ooh, force on that. Ooh. I don't wanted that. All right, I'm still going to draw a card here by playing Mockingbird, and it's just a 1/1 bird. I'll take it. I'm not too proud. Attack with Traveling Choco. And I could fetch an untapped land. I could fetch Tropical Island just in case there's a 1-mana bird on top of my deck right now. So I think I'd rather use the Surveil land to have a better next turn. Because I don't even really want a 1-mana bird. I want a Green Sun Zenith or a cat or a natural order, something that really turns the corner. Fetch. They could plow in response here, having played around. Yeah, okay. They were playing around the quick reflexes, which I wouldn't have fetched if I had. Windswept Heath. I don't need that. I have land drops. BoshNRoll Cub. Do I want that? I could play Choco. Yeah, I'm going to play Choco. The Caracas is a little awkward here, but a land on top of my deck still plays. Okay, Ponder and BoshNRoll Cub. Opponent's at 6 life. Cracking clues. The green creature barrage has done a pretty good job so far. Another Prismatic Ending. It would be a shame if that met another Days. I could have picked up Hedge Maze here, but I kind of want the untapped mana more than I want that subtle card advantage, because I have Traveling Chocobo. Oh my god. Choco's going to stop traveling real soon and start going nuts. A Ponder for the Scythecat Cub. I could still hit a land drop if I sequence this smartly. All right, Ponder. I could have just put my opponent to 1, but chose not to. So Cub, natural order. It's weird. Are these even the cards I want? I mean, Scythecat Cub is good, but it's not doing anything unique for my plan. I'm actually going to shuffle this. And I did hit the card advantage that I was looking for. And I hit a bird. Look at this. You didn't want me to shuffle the Ponder, and now you look stupid. Imaginary person in my brain. Okay, put you to 2. Okay, they're dead to a variety of things here, and they have 3 mana to figure it out with. Quantum Riddler for the draw 1. Unless Ephemerate is in your deck, I don't really see a path here. And even if Emery doesn't save you here, we got the GGs! Green creatures and lots of them pushing that blue-white control player into the void. Alrighty, not too shabby with this Wild Brew. And if we remember round 1, I punted against the Pox deck. So, like, that's within margin of error of a positive record. My feedback here is I don't think the Badger Mole Cub is working. We either need to focus much more or much less on this. I could see 1 in the Zenith package if you have a bunch of mana dorks or you have a Wasteland in play and you want to double dip it. But I don't think this is working as a plan. And I want more Birds of Paradise. That's a great card to rip through with Traveling Chocobo. It casts Traveling Chocobo more often. It gets you up into the Zenith. It's material for Natural Order. That's kind of where I want to be with that. Like, I would just straight up turn 2 Badger Mole Cubs into 2 Birds of Paradise, and I think the deck's already a lot better. And then Legolas's Quick Reflexes had some exciting moments, but it also kind of rotted in my hand or didn't save me some other times. That could be another thing. That could be the 4th Zenith. We are only playing 3, and Zenith being a mana dork and being more effective with Birds of Paradise, there's a lot going on there, a lot to like. Yeah, I think short of like the obvious, we're not a Force of Will deck and we don't really have any functional removal. We really are just trying to be bigger than the opponent and hoping that works out. Once we accept that we're living in that world, I think that Badger Mole Cub is the weak link here, and we should focus on Natural Order Zenith and Bird synergies and just move these resources over here. This was fun, and there's clearly a lot more work that could be done to smooth out the shell. Gorehound, I hope this project treats you well moving forward. It was fun working on it with you. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.